Somewhere in a suburb built between 2004 and 2018, a homeowner received a certified letter. The violation? The color of their roof. Specifically, the whiteness of it. The weapon they had deployed against the summer sun was not some exotic phase-change polymer from a defense contractor's materials lab. It was calcium hydroxide, slaked lime, a paste that costs $14 for a 40-pound bucket at any agricultural co-op, mixed with water in a ratio masonry workers have known since the Minoan civilization, roughly 1500 BCE. That roof, measured by a FLIR thermal camera on a 95 degrees Fahrenheit afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona, read 115 degrees Fahrenheit on its surface. The neighbor's 30-year architectural shingle in weathered wood brown, 170 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a 55 degree Fahrenheit differential, achieved with no electricity, no compressor, no refrigerant, no subscription, and no supply chain more complex than a bucket and a brush. And in at least 14 states, your homeowners association has the legal authority to fine you for it. Let's talk about why. The White City is not an aesthetic accident. It is an engineering decision repeated independently across unconnected civilizations because physics is not a cultural preference. It is a fact. On the Cycladic islands of Greece, the tradition of whitewashing exterior walls and flat-roof terraces with asbestochroma, lime-based paint, was codified by the Greek government in 1936. But the practice predates that mandate by 3 millennia. Excavations at Akrotiri on Santorini, a Bronze Age settlement preserved by the 1627 BCE eruption of Thera, reveal lime-plastered walls and roof surfaces. These were not decorative. The lime wash served a dual function. Calcium hydroxide carries a pH of 12.4, lethal to most bacteria and fungal organisms, and is a passive thermal management system in a landscape with no mechanical cooling, no electricity, and summer temperatures exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Move 5,000 miles west to colonial New Mexico. The Spanish colonizers who arrived in 1598 under Juan de Oñate encountered Pueblo architecture already employing a lime and clay render. By 1610, when Santa Fe was established as a territorial capital, Enjar, the annual application of a fresh whitewash coat, was effectively municipal policy in the mission system. The practice persisted as the dominant building maintenance standard for 400 years, not because of tradition alone, but because the Chihuahuan Desert demands it. Santa Fe averages 283 days of sunshine per year. The buildings that survived, and that still stand on the plaza today, are the ones that reflected the sun. Morocco's blue and white city of Chefchaouen, founded in 1471 by Moorish refugees from the Reconquista, similarly uses lime wash as its primary exterior treatment, the blue pigment added in the 1930s. The lime base unchanged for 5 centuries. In the Rift Mountain climate reaching 95 degrees Fahrenheit in summer, the whitewashed walls maintain interior temperatures measurably below ambient air. A 2019 study published in the journal Energy and Buildings confirmed that traditional lime-washed vernacular buildings in the Western Mediterranean maintain interior temperatures 8 to 11 degrees Celsius, that is 14 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, below comparable uncoated masonry structures. The thermal battery is not a modern concept. These buildings are the thermal battery. The legacy material is the technology. Now cut to 2024. A homeowner in Scottsdale, Arizona, a city that recorded 113 consecutive days above 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer of 2003, cannot paint their roof white without written HOA approval. That approval, in the overwhelming majority of planned communities governed by CC&Rs filed before 2010, will not be granted. Here is what is happening on your roof at 2 p.m. on a July afternoon, stated without abstraction. Solar irradiance at the Earth's surface under clear sky conditions averages approximately 1,000 watts per square meter. A standard residential roof in the continental United States covers between 150 and 250 square meters. You are therefore receiving between 150,000 and 250,000 watts of solar energy on your roof at peak insolation. That is the equivalent of running 150 to 251 kilowatt space heaters simultaneously on top of your house. Pointed inward. What your roofing material does with that energy is a function of 2 physical properties: solar reflectance and thermal emissivity. Solar reflectance, expressed as a value between 0 and 1, measures the fraction of incoming solar radiation that a surface redirects back into the atmosphere without absorbing it. A value of 0.0 is a perfect black body. It absorbs everything. A value of 1.0 is a perfect mirror. It reflects everything. Standard dark asphalt shingles, which cover approximately 75% of American residential rooftops, carry a solar reflectance of 0.05 to 0.15. In practical terms, they absorb 85 to 95% of incoming solar radiation and convert it directly into heat. A surface coated with calcium hydroxide slaked lime carries a solar reflectance of 0.70 to 0.80. It reflects 70 to 80% of incoming solar energy before absorption occurs. The second property, thermal emissivity, measures how efficiently a surface radiates absorbed heat back into the atmosphere as long-wave infrared radiation rather than conducting it downward into the building assembly. Lime-washed surfaces carry emissivity values of 0.90 or above, meaning 90% of whatever residual heat is absorbed gets re-emitted skyward, not conducted into your attic. Now combine those numbers. A dark asphalt shingle roof absorbs 90% of 1,000 watts per square meter, 900 watts. It conducts the majority of that heat downward through the sheathing. By the time that thermal load reaches your attic airspace, you are dealing with a plenum that regularly exceeds 160 degrees Fahrenheit in summer. Your HVAC system, which the U.S. Department of Energy notes loses 20 to 30% of its conditioned airflow through ducts running through that same 160 degrees Fahrenheit attic, is now fighting a thermodynamic battle it is structurally designed to lose. The Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory's Heat Island Group, directed for 30 years by Drive Hashim Akbari, published data in 2001 establishing that cool roofs, surfaces with reflectance above 0.65, reduce cooling energy demand by 10 to 40% depending on climate zone and building configuration. Akbari's own economic modeling, updated in a 2008 paper in Climatic Change, calculated that converting 1% of the world's urban roofscape to high reflectance surfaces would deliver a one-time radiative forcing offset equivalent to removing 300 million automobiles from the road for 20 years. The prescriptive path here is not complex. It is not proprietary. It does not require a permit in most jurisdictions. You mix lime with water, apply 2 coats to a clean surface, and you have created a passive cooling system with a measurable coefficient of performance that no mechanical system can match on a $1 per BTU offset basis, because its operating cost is zero. The obstacle is not technical. The obstacle is legal. The American HOA system governs approximately 74 million housing units as of 2030. According to the Community Associations Institute, that is roughly 53% of all owner-occupied housing in the United States. The legal instrument through which these associations govern exterior aesthetics is called the Declaration of Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions, the CC&R. Most CC&Rs filed between 1980 and 2015 contain language prohibiting exterior colors that deviate from an approved palette maintained by the association's Architectural Review Committee. Those palettes were developed not by engineers, not by climate scientists, and not by materials physicists. They were developed by real estate developers in consultation with marketing consultants whose single metric was initial sale price per square foot. The dominant aesthetic of planned community development from 1985 onward was shaped by one overriding principle: visual conformity signals financial stability. Dark, muted roof lines, charcoal, weathered brown, slate gray, read as premium in the vocabulary of American residential real estate marketing. White roofs read as industrial, as agricultural, as low value. This is not speculation. A 2016 survey conducted by the National Association of Realtors found that 67% of homebuyers reported that a white or highly reflective roof would create a negative first impression of a property. That single data point, a perception statistic, not a thermodynamic measurement, is the load-bearing wall of the regulatory gatekeeping that bans the most effective passive cooling technology available to American homeowners. The financial beneficiary of this arrangement is not subtle. The U.S. HVAC market was valued at $156 billion in 23 by Grandview Research. Residential cooling accounts for approximately 17% of total U.S. electricity consumption, according to the EIA's 22 Annual Energy Outlook, roughly 600 billion kilowatt-hours per year. Every BTU of solar heat that penetrates your dark shingle roof and raises your attic temperature is a BTU that your air conditioner must remove. Your air conditioner runs on electricity. That electricity, depending on your utility and your state, costs between 9 cents and 32 cents per kilowatt hour. The HVAC unit itself, a mid-tier 3-ton split system, costs between $5,000 and $12,000, installed in 2024. It has a rated lifespan of 12 to 15 years under moderate operating conditions. In Phoenix, Houston, or Miami, those conditions are not moderate. The thermal load imposed by a poorly reflective roof degrades compressor efficiency and shortens equipment lifespan measurably. You are not just paying for cooling, you are paying for replacement cooling at 12-year intervals for the life of the mortgage. Compare that to the total cost of a lime wash application. A 2,000 square foot roof requires approximately 8 to 10 gallons of lime wash at a solids concentration of 30%. That is 2 40-pound bags of hydrated lime, roughly $28 at a farm supply retailer, diluted with potable water. Application time: 4 to 6 hours with a pump sprayer or long nap roller. Recoating interval: 5 to 7 years under normal weathering. Total 30-year cost of ownership for the thermal management system, under $200. The structural redundancy of the HVAC model, the requirement that you purchase, finance, insure, maintain, and ultimately replace a 250-pound electromechanical system to compensate for the deliberate thermodynamic failure of your roof, is not an accident of engineering. It is the monetization of a problem that the market has a vested interest in not solving. And the HOA, through its Architectural Review Committee, enforced by its retained legal counsel, backed by the lien authority granted to it under state property law, is the mechanism through which this arrangement is maintained at the residential level. The resistance exists. It is piecemeal, it is underfunded, and it is winning anyway. California's Title 24 Building Energy Code, updated in its 2022 edition, mandates that new residential construction in climate zones 2 through 15, covering the Central Valley, the inland deserts, and most of Southern California, must achieve a minimum aged solar reflectance of 0.20 on low-slope roofs. For steep-slope residential roofing, the requirement is 0.15. Those numbers are embarrassingly low, but they establish the legal precedent that reflectance is a regulated thermal performance metric, and that HOA aesthetic preferences do not supersede state building code. New York City's Local Law 97 of 2019 imposes carbon intensity caps on buildings over 25,000 square feet, beginning in 2000, with penalties of $268 per ton of CO2 equivalent above the threshold. NYC's Companion Cool Roof program has applied reflective coating to over 10 million square feet of rooftops since 2009 at an average cost of 25 cents per square foot, a fraction of the cost of any mechanical alternative. The city of Chicago, in a 2014 analysis conducted by the Illinois Institute of Technology, found that the city's 359-acre green and cool roof program reduced local ambient air temperature by 1.0 to 1.4 degrees Celsius on peak summer days, enough to reduce heat-related mortality risk by a measurable fraction in a city that lost 739 people in the heat wave of July 1995. These are not experiments. These are operating systems. They are deployed at scale in the world's most heavily governed building environments. They are blocked at the neighborhood level by documents written by marketing consultants in the 1990s. The prescriptive path for the individual homeowner, the one who does not live in a planned community who owns their home outright without covenant encumbrance, is this: 2 coats of 30% calcium hydroxide solution applied in spring, allowed to carbonate over 48 hours as atmospheric CO2 reacts with the surface to form calcium carbonate. A harder, more durable crystalline finish. No VOCs, no refrigerant, no subscription, no service contract, no replacement cycle. A surface that has outperformed every mechanical alternative in 4,000 years of field testing across 3 continents. For the 74 million Americans inside a covenant-governed community, the path is harder. It runs through state legislation, and that legislation is coming. Florida HB 75, signed in 2203, prohibits HOA enforcement of rules that prevent installation of solar collectors and energy-saving devices, though implementation has been legally contested. Arizona and Texas have introduced similar bills addressing exterior color restrictions in the context of climate adaptation. The argument is simple enough that it survives without embellishment. When the physics of a material demonstrably reduces energy consumption, extends building lifespan, and decreases urban heat island effect, the aesthetic preferences of a private development corporation do not constitute a superior public interest. A bucket of slaked lime costs $14. The legal apparatus required to deploy it against a hostile CC&R costs considerably more. That asymmetry is the story. Every summer in Phoenix, Las Vegas, Houston, and Miami, 4 American cities that will collectively spend an estimated $38 billion on residential cooling electricity in 2025, the physics does not change. The sun delivers approximately 1,000 watts per square meter. A white surface returns 700 to 800 of those watts to the sky. A dark surface absorbs 900 of them and pushes the thermal load into the living space below. This is not a controversy. It is thermodynamics. It has been thermodynamics since the Bronze Age. The controversy: the $14 bucket of calcium hydroxide versus the $10,000 HVAC unit, the carbonate crystalline surface versus the asphalt petroleum shingle, is a manufactured one. It was manufactured with legal instruments, aesthetic marketing, and the structural conflation of financial conformity with physical performance. The White City was not white because its inhabitants lacked ambition. It was white because they understood the sun. We have chosen, by covenant, to forget.